The last speaker of the day is Forrest Wynne from Kentucky State University. Going to talk about the term education, advocacy, and promotion. The terms education, advocacy, and promotion in aquaculture extension programs. What do they mean, and when, where, and when to draw the line? Boy, I'm losing
It's
it.
too long a title.
It is.
Stupid. Anyway. Okay, well, many of us have, I guess many professions have wrestled with the advocacy profession issue. I've been accused of it, either doing it or not accused of doing it over the years, so I thought I would climb down this rabbit hole a few months ago, and it was really a pretty bad idea. But I did find out a few things. But this is what I found out after it all fit into 2 slides. After we don't advocate or promote aquaculture, we do advocate or promote aquaculture education, or what I like to call the informed decision. The end. So the rest of the time was largely wasted. But anyway, because I'm not smart enough to stop there, I'll proceed. What Leo said earlier was very true. Most people, many people, including many of our colleagues in our institutions, really don't understand extension, what it does, how it operates, or the underlying philosophy of the whole thing. So I think essentially they just make something up. And that is that we promote or advocate for aquaculture or beekeeping or just whatever it happens to be. Extension does a pretty poor job of marketing itself and its wares. And that we've known for a long time, but yet we don't really seem to do much about it. Extension's function, obviously, establish, provide a link between the university and states, counties. If you're in Kentucky or some of these other states that have too many counties, we have 120. Gary, what do you have out here?
44.
44. Idaho's a lot bigger than Kentucky. So anyway, efforts include research, instruction, and outreach for all citizens. Most of this is basic review for you, but here again, how many have had formal education in extension? How many of you were just thrown into the job? Yeah, and you learn it on the way or on the fly. So anyway, what is its roles and responsibilities? A lot of you have heard these sayings, and I won't dwell on them. Helping people help themselves, working with them, not for them, etc., etc. Basically developing programs, helping carry out programs that meet their needs, and transferring relevant technology and information to the general public. This rather terrible little chart I found on the UK website, and you can see all this structure here. What's important about this, here are all your committees for your various FCS, 4-H, agriculture. This is a grassroots organization. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think it all comes, it comes from the top down instead of from the bottom up. So it's important to know that the councils in these counties, whether the system works effectively in this day and age is something we can discuss over beer, but this is the way that the program was designed to work so long ago. And out here we have extension specialists, specialized agents, whatever it is you call yourself, playing a supportive role. Our job is to basically support everything that's going on here in this framework. So again, a grassroots organization. The people inform the councils of what they want done. The councils are supposed to support or provide program information to the various agents. Another thing I found, people in my institution and others confuse outreach with extension. If you show 3rd graders some fish, you're doing extension work. Well, that's not exactly true. It's outreach. Everybody in the land grant mission does outreach. It's part of the land grant mission, and you have to dance with the woman that brought you and pays your bills. So extension, to look at it first of all, it's an organized method of programming, determining clientele need, design a research-based program to address that need, implement, demonstrate project management practice, and most importantly, I think, document adoption of practice or behavioral change. Outreach is just a lot less structured than that. Both are important things to do. Outreach just provides information, education. Obviously, it's communicated, but there may be no educational delivery system that's organized, and certainly and there may not be any formal program evaluation. or organized system of determining impact. So there are differences. Extension does both programming and outreach. We do a lot of it. Extension specialists provide assistance support for the field staff. I think most of you know what this is, so I'll skip beyond this. As extension specialists, obviously we have influence. Agents are dependent on our recommendations, as are producers, the general public, and other folks. Delivery of information sometimes is a judgment call. Who's the audience? We have various appointments. We address different crowds, different groups of clientele. There's many differences in extension appointments and responsibilities. So getting into some of the meat of this, finally, according to Webster's Dictionary, online of course, education, pretty straightforward. Nobody really argues about this. The act of process teaching someone, especially in a school, college, or university. Not too complicated. Advocacy, well, a little more sticking your neck out, I guess. The act of process of supporting a cause, proposal, the active process of advocating something. And probably the most confusing, at least in my mind, is promotion. Something such as advertising that is done to make people aware of something and increase product sales and profit. So what we need to do is make sure that we are promoting and advocating for the right things, such as education, and not necessarily other things that we can get caught up in. Developing and disseminating reputable data, information. Is it research-based, anecdotal, not so informed? There's lots of information out there. Everybody sees it. People come up and yell about what they find on the websites. This is the stuff the media gets a hold of. But is it science-based? Is it of any quality whatsoever? A lot of it isn't. Information may be easily accessed, but it's not necessarily a substitute for good judgment. You have to cite your sources. Again, address the appropriate audience. Examples of an appropriate action would be to allow clients to make their own decisions, provide them the background information for them to make the proper decision. Examples of perhaps inappropriate action, I would think, would be promoting one aquaculture product over another, insisting on a specific brand or product among those available, convincing growers to increase or decrease production, or encouraging producers to enter or exit the industry. Really, you want to give them the information that it takes for them to make the decision themselves. This is a quote, I'll let you read this, from Jim Miller, that some of us gray hairs remember from so long ago. He was the extension leader for the wildlife extension specialists. That's really all I have.